First, we have James Phelps. James, please come on out, who played Fred Weasley. And the other Weasley brother, we have Oliver Phelps, who played George. Welcome. And we'd also want to put our hands together for Ivana Lynch, who played Luna Lovegood. Luna, welcome. And last but not least, we have Michael Gambon, who played the prestigious Professor Dumbledore. Welcome, Michael.
Hello.
Here you go, sir. So we're going to be here. We're going to do a group Q&A. Jimmy and Denny from the PR team will have roaming mics. So if you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll come grab you. I know our first question goes out to Ricky. So Ricky, what would you like to ask our team?
I have spoken to you three before, so I must address this question to Mr. Gambon. This is your first time here, from what I understand.
Second.
Sure. Yeah, excuse me. In Diagon Alley, first time, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. So what are your impressions walking in here for the first time, and what do you look forward to?
This is it. It's very good, very nice. Got some nice paintings on the wall. I like the chandeliers, and it's very good. I've just walked in. Is that a good reply? It should be. I've studied it. I like the beams across the roof. It's all very accurate.
Our next question.
So I'm curious, now that the films and the movies are so far removed from production, publication, how do you feel about gaining a new legion of fans who discover the magical world of Harry Potter through our theme parks here in Orlando?
I think it's pretty unique in the sense that, as you say, it's probably the first ever type of series, franchise, kind of what you will, that people go to a theme park attraction and go, you know what, I'm going to go read the books or watch the films and understand it more. Which is great, because even like today, like you see, I never thought I'd see it, a guy who was obviously out with his grandkids, and the dad was, and the kids were saying, oh come on, we need to go to Hogwarts, and the granddad was playing along, like, yes, okay, Hogwarts, of course, yes. I didn't quite understand what was going on, but you could see him like really taking everything in, because the detail is all here. And I think that's the cool thing about it, like I said earlier, it's just totally unique to this part of the world.
Thank you.
Our next question. Usually you guys have so many questions to ask. I guess I'll ask a question to our crew here. What was it like to see, you guys were there on the film set, to see it brought to life here at Universal Studios Florida?
It's really, every answer's going to be, it's really good. But it is because, obviously all the sets are hollow because they're not meant to last, but obviously here is. So you go up to the walls and you knock on them and they're solid, which is what you normally see with a load of us who are in the cast doing. It looks really bizarre, but like especially Diagon Alley, obviously the set was, you could walk around the back of it, whereas here it's all real, all the shops are real. So it's quite, it kind of fulfills the imagination when you're filming too, and then when you're actually here, it's real life. So it's kind of, we've got to have the best of both of everything.
Well, I have to remind you that Dumbledore never went in Diagon Alley. So that's why I was talking stupid.
No, everything is great. We're so glad to have you guys here. What we'll do is we'll probably have you. Our next question, right over here, Chrissy.
This one's for Michael, please. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
It's nice to meet you. What is it that you think it is about the Harry Potter movies that really resonates with people around the world? And this is such a worldwide phenomenon.
Well, it's children and danger, isn't it? Is it? I've suddenly said that. Children in this, living that life under that thing, there's only imagination, and the real danger they're in, all these monsters. Is that right? That's what it's about.
Well, it's Professor Dumbledore saying it, so it has to be
Dumbledore
right.
also knows.
Yes.
Thought I'd check it out.
We have our next question right there.
Hi guys, this is mostly for Oliver, James, and Ivana, because you guys were here last year for the first celebration, and then you guys also were here for Diagon Alley. So I'm just curious to know why it's important for you guys to kind of keep coming back and keep giving back to the fans so many years after the series are finished.
To be honest with you, we have such a to be honest, we have such a great time when we come here, because if we didn't, we wouldn't come. But like the fans are so lovely to us. They're very warm to, like, they're very quick to say hello and say hi, but then they're not going to invade your privacy, which is really nice, and we can still enjoy going around the park anyway. But they're very cool just to say hi, and it's also great because when we film, when we were filming, there were only a couple of hundred people on the crew and the cast, and that was it. So you never see, unlike theatre or anything, when you see the recipient straight away. Obviously, when you do film, you don't really see that. So especially coming here, you see the adulation, as it were, for what you've done as well. So that's quite a unique experience, really.
Thank you. I think it's so much fun for us, and to come back every year and to still be met with that same passion, because we all had so much fun on the films, and it's like, especially in being actors, being in this industry, it's just it's not, you don't always get that warm reception, and to have something that's always going to be a part of you. Like for me, it kind of was long before I was part of the films. I was 8 years old when I read them, so I can't just detach myself from this world. So anytime I'm asked to come back, it's a pleasure.
I live in London, and wherever I walk, I get stopped by children about Harry Potter. They're too young to have seen Harry Potter. They've been told about it by their mum and dad. I like that. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you. Our next question, Barb?
To play off what you said about being able to walk around and enjoy it, do you guys sneak into the expo too and kind of have an old time, say, looking at the Lima and the crafts and all the different things that you really kind of lived with on the set?
Last year we actually had to do a pop into the expo, but fortunately we were able to do it before we popped in beforehand, when it was all quieting down, or before we were announcing we were going to call in, as it were. And I was just surprised, like, I was actually learning stuff when I was there, because you look into stuff, and it's, I think so they were really showing off Pottermore as well at the time, so sitting down and looking more into depth at certain aspects of the books and everything, the spells. So that's really cool, and so it's more than just a gathering of Potter fans going on some theme park rides. It's a whole enjoyable weekend, which is great to see the fans' enjoyment in that, and we can partake in it as well.
I never really knew what was going on in Harry Potter, really, because Dumbledore is such a small part, really. And so there are big sections of it I never saw. I read them in the script, but I didn't know them very well, so I just pretended all the time. I know my own scenes, but the other scenes are not in. You tell people you've read them, but you haven't read them very carefully. You know what I mean? So that's my problem.
Jim, you had a question?
Yes, this is for the Felstrother or Mr. Gambon. You folks, worked on the film, but can you talk about how different it was to work on the theme park attraction? Because you guys are featured in the Hogwarts Express film, and you're in Forbidden Journey. What was it like to work on that outside of the feature films?
Well, I was not aware of it at the time. I mean, the scene where I'm walking down as a ghost was shot in London, wasn't it? Yeah. And then it was put here, and I wasn't aware of what was going on in London. I walked down and did the talking with the costume on. I didn't know it would end up here, and so it was a shock. It was wonderful. A bit frightening. That was me, so thank you very much.
For me, it was different because I always thought the last thing I filmed was my character dead. Sorry if there's a spoiler alert. So I thought that was the last I'd ever play that character, and then I was asked to come back and replay him for the Hogwarts Express bit here. So that was a bit surreal. So I didn't think I was going to play him again, but I did, and I did it in one take, which was a good way to sign off. Unlike some.
I was getting paid by the hour, so I didn't care. No, it was very much the one thing I learned different from filming for a theme park is to filming for a film is that they were very, even to the second, conscious that you had to get it bang on, because obviously it would fit in the ride. Because otherwise, if you just did it, okay, I'm going to throw a firework in a minute, or you can't do that. It's got to be okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now throw it and then put it around, which I didn't understand why that was so important until I saw it. And thought, yeah, okay, that 'cause obviously you're moving the whole time on the train. But it's great to be able to see it, because when you film it, you don't realise it's all green screen. So to see it on this train here is brilliant.
There's so much here that I didn't know about, but it's wonderful to come here and see it.
Our next question, Kat from MuggleNet.
This question comes from one of our followers on Twitter. 2015 is just beginning. What do you guys look forward to most about the year? Your careers?
I'm a big cricket fan, so there's an Ashes series going on later this year. Just in general, really. Just enjoy travelling, going around working, obviously. Yeah, just enjoy the life. I don't really have a set plan for the year, so I'm just going to go for the year, really.
I can't really look past the weekend. I've been looking forward to this weekend since we were asked to come here a couple of months ago. So it's really, that's a really boring answer, but it's not. I'm looking forward to the weekend.
You mentioned Super Bowl.
I'll go for the Seahawks.
Oh,
yeah.
Good choice, by the way. Next question.
I'm sure as young actors, you all were thrilled to know that you would have the opportunity to work with Robbie Coltrane or Michael Gambon. Such a long and illustrious career. To be able to call him a mentor, I'm sure is such a great thing. Flipping that now to you, when you found out, okay, I'm going to be accepting a role where I work with hundreds of children, some of which obviously this is their first role. Was you say, I want to do this, I want to be a mentor to these kids?
No, they didn't tell me there were many children in. And I know, it's just great. I mean, the children seem to, for me, sitting in Ready to Come On in London, you become unaware of the children involved. Certainly the very young ones, because you don't see them. They're ushered away from the set as soon as you finish your scene, and that's when you go another way. I didn't meet many children, apart from these two. And they're not children, and they weren't then.
No, we were always the older of the kids, really.
The oldest kids.
Yeah. Although we didn't necessarily act that age.
Do you have any other questions? In the back?
This was a question. So this is a question for Ivana. So we were wondering, Luna is a role model for a lot of Harry Potter fans, and so would you consider her a feminist? And what did she teach you about feminism, and what do you hope she's taught others?
To be honest, I don't think Luna thinks of things like feminism, because I don't think she thinks there's a divide. She is oblivious to a lot of things. Like, she's not aware that people think she's so weird. She's not aware that they don't like her. She's like, they take my stuff, I don't know why. She doesn't look at things and see, oh, this person is being mistreated, this person is not being heard, this person is being abused. I think she has love for everyone. She has appreciation for everyone. I think the idea of someone being prejudiced against for their sex, I think that's absurd to her. And I guess, yeah, like, I know that has been the topic everywhere lately, feminism, and you can't say you're not a feminist if you want equal rights for everyone. But I don't think she's like Hermione, where she's fighting so actively. I think Emma's sort of perfectly mirroring what Hermione would do in the real world, that she's talking about these things. But I feel like Luna's message, or Luna's way of doing it would be just more modern, just more inclusive. Like, she's not talking. Luna wouldn't be talking to the people who aren't embracing, like, change, or embracing everyone. She's talking to the people who are already full of love and who do want to, want to make everyone's lives easier and nicer. But I also do. I think because that Luna would be interested, particularly because she went on to be a magic zoologist, if that's the word. I think she would fight for animals, and I think she has a strong spiritual connection with them, so that's more her cause. But yeah, I don't know, feminism, that's a tricky one. Like, you have to be a feminist in this day and age, but it's not everyone's. I think it's more Hermione's, that's her cause that she's fighting for. Does that make sense? I answered that very well.
Thank you so much. Seth, with our next question.
Question for Mr. Gambon. Obviously, the Fantastic Beasts films that are coming out, they haven't announced a cast or anything for that yet, so I wouldn't ask you to give away any secrets.
What one is that?
The prequel films that are taking place in the 1930s.
Oh, yeah.
I was just curious that you as an actor, knowing your character, what do you imagine Dumbledore might have been up to during that era, and would he be available?
He'd be growing up, wouldn't he? He'd be younger and determined on a career in magic and in the house itself, in the building. He'd be worried about his money and doing well and running the place. That's what he really wanted to do, isn't it? Be in control. Not be in the background, some square. I think it's a very good reply of mine. That's supposed to be a laugh. I was just trying. Anyway, I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Seth. A quick question that I have for James, Oliver, and Ivana. In the spirit of us being at Leaky Cauldron, what is your favorite type of food and beverage when you had a chance to come here for preview week that you really enjoy and can't wait to try since being back here for the celebration?
Yeah, I remember we were fortunate to have a good afternoon or lunch with Chef, the guy who sorted out, who basically came together with all the foods in here. Because that's the main thing, when you go to America and they say, oh, you're going to a British pub to eat British food. Okay, see how it is. But it's the point where the fish has flown over from the North Sea. The authenticity of the fish and chips here was probably the best you'll find in Orlando, which is quite cool. But yeah, and even toad in the hole, so it's just stuff like that. That's a toad in the hole, that'll be mine. I'm looking forward to the next.
Ivana?
That's a really tricky question because it used to be the butterbeer ice cream that was the best thing on earth, and I recently went vegan, so I'm not allowed. But yeah, I will miss that, and my sister says she'll have mine. So. But it is amazing. This world. And Oliver, what's your favorite?
Oh, James. Sorry.
James, thank you.
Sorry, James.
Well, yeah, when we did that tasting session last summer, I probably put on about 10 pounds because, no, I will finish everything. But yeah, like Oliver said, the fish and chips was, like I'm quite a snob when it comes to fish and chips. If it's good, it's good. And these are good. So the fish and chips and the butterbeer, obviously, because that's, so what's the water with
the gilly water?
The gilly water, yeah, that's really nice as well.
Wonderful. Any other questions from the team? Right over here.
What's it like growing up with your fans? You're going to see a ton of 20-year-old, 30-year-olds in robes waving wands around. What's it like to see a fan base just commit to something that really will bring us all back to our childhood?
It's like nothing else really, because I suppose a few years ago, if you saw somebody, as you say, in their late 20s dressed up in Hogwarts school uniform, people would look at them a bit strange. But now most of the people at the park who are coming to the park, they're not necessarily coming with mum and dad, they're coming with their pals, or they're on spring break, they're on whatever, on vacation with their friends, they're coming, oh cool, let's get in our robes and really get into the occasion, which is really cool. And that's cool for us, like growing up with it. It's even weirder when you leave the park and you see people walking down the street in their Hogwarts outfits in the middle of Orlando. I can remember the grand opening last summer, and it was really hot outside, but still they were like, oh, I must buy the whole robe and the jumper and the tie and everything. And that's really cool to see. As I said, I think that's the thing that makes it more inclusive, that the fan base has grown with the series as well.
Thank you so much.
Question for Michael. Yeah. You're involved with the next adaptation, J.K. Rowling's first, Casual Vacancy.
Yeah.
Featured for TV. Can you tell us anything about that adaptation, the process of working on it?
That's the same writer. I can't tell you, I'm told not to speak about it, so I can't say, but she wrote me a letter when it was finished, congratulating me on my performance. So there you are, you've got to clap for that. Thank you.
We just have time for a couple more questions.
You have a huge fan base in Brazil. Everybody loves Harry Potter. They're going crazy because I'm posting lots of pictures. My question is, what is the place that the books or the series took you guys? Like, what are the places in the world that you were not expecting that you would travel to, but you did and you love it?
I'm not just saying it because you're there, but I actually went to Sao Paulo last year with promoting this place, talking about it, which I never really assumed that I'd go to. Obviously the World Cup was there, but I didn't think that I'd go there with the films. And it got a bit out of hand though. There was about 100 people camping outside the hotel, missing school and everything, which is quite surreal. And yeah, it just like, that type of place, it's obviously a different culture, it's everything else, but they really buy into the whole Potter side of it, which is really surreal to me. So for me, not just because you hear us saying it, but yeah, Sao Paulo.
The other one?
Japan for me, because it's so far away and the culture is so different to what we have. And I didn't expect there, because I went there when they built a Wizarding World in Tokyo, and I never expected that. And it was a funny experience because they're all speaking Japanese, but they're walking around in Hogwarts robes, and they have the hippogriff ride there, and Hagrid has the voiceover, but he's speaking in Japanese, but he somehow still has Robbie Coltrane's accent. It was the most bizarre thing. So yeah, just being there, that was somewhere I didn't think of, hadn't associated with Harry Potter, but they really love it there. They're big fans.
I would say it's where I ran in Finland, and fell in love with the country and actually started learning the language. So I started learning Finnish, which probably a bit of a useless skill because only 5 million people in the world speaking. But it's I didn't think I'd go there, but I've actually really enjoyed the country.
I've never been stopped in a foreign country because I think without all the equipment and the face and beard, they don't know who you are. So I've got on it.
Our next question.
First, I just want to tell Ivana that they got the Gringotts ride running smoothly now. So, and I want to ask Michael if he's going to ride the Gringotts, Escape from Gringotts.
I can't hear.
Are you planning on riding the new ride? Here, the Escape from Gringotts ride?
No way. When I came 6 years ago, no, 4 years ago, for the opening thing, I got on that one that's the really bad one.
Julie Dragons.
I nearly died. I held him, Dan was sitting down, Radcliffe was sitting next to me, and I was so frightened, I just kept my eyes shut, and I'm praying and feeling awful. And I looked at him once, and he was grinning all over his face. I'm so old, I can't stand it. I'd love to go on, but I'm too old. I would. Give me some money.
A final question? Does anybody have a final question? We have in the back.
With the new movies, all the talks of the Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. I know you guys grew up working on the original Harry Potter movies, but to see other movies done in that universe, what are your thoughts going to be when you see a whole different cast, a whole different crew working on something in the same universe you kind of built?
Jealousy, rage. I'm gonna be so jealous. It took me 5 years to get in these films, and now we're being butted out. I'm quite sad. I have tried to tweet them and say, can't she narrate them or something? but then it will also be amazing, to not be involved because we get to see, the magic of it. Because yes, when you work on the films, a little bit of that is taken away, and you know what to expect, and you have personal memories connected to scenes. And to be able to just sit back and watch it and see what they do with it, not see it coming from scratch into this amazing thing, to just see it there, that's going to be fascinating. And I'm just so excited to see, the magical world in America, what they're going to, because we're so accustomed to hearing the Hogwarts students with English accents, and it's going to be cool to see the different culture and to see all the magical creatures. So, mixed feelings.
Well, thank you, Ivana, Oliver, James, and Michael. And we thank you guys for joining us for this special Q&A. We're just going to have the talent pose for a group photo, so everybody can get a group photo, and then they'll be departing, and then we'll be able to have dinner here at the Leaky Cauldron.
Thank you guys again so much, and we really truly appreciate, again, all your support.